I'm a renaissance. I'm a renaissance. I'm a renaissance man. I'm a renaissance. I'm a renaissance. I'm a renaissance man. Yeah, we bring in the revival. Dark ages always end. Dark ages always end. Going back to the tribal is the only way we're breaking out this pen.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Welcome to episode number 11 of Revival Radio. My name is Rich Steve.
And it's the Brain Cell,
We go by Critical Mass.
aka C-Mass.
What the fuck is up, Brain Cell?
Chillin', dude.
So, we're about 2 weeks out now. 2 weeks out. September 30th, ICP, Critical Mass, up in Reverb at, up in Reading at Reverb. How you feeling, man?
Time, man?
You getting fucking hype as shit?
I got all the instrumentals and shit already. I just gotta burn the CDs. And we gotta get the t-shirts in.
Dude, going down on Monday to Berkeley
So,
Springs. Shout out to the Lunatic Asylum, by the way. Crazy Shay helping us out. Monday, gonna go check them out, see how they're looking. But if you want tickets to the show,
They're moving fast.
we have a very few amount left. This is really a hot ticket right now. $20. Hit us up, hit him up, hit Jay 9 Iron up, and we'll fucking get that shit out to you. One of us will meet you and personally hand deliver it.
Right on, dude.
Now I gotta ask you, man, the fuck you drinking on this week? Let's get into the nectar of the gods.
Do you see the color of that?
Dude, it looks like straight Orangina. It looks like orange juice.
Yeah, or like maybe pineapple juice.
Yeah. What is it this week, man?
Tired Hands Brewing Company.
Where's that?
Down the street here in Ardmore, Pennsylvania.
Local shit.
This is the Mango Tego, I believe, is how you pronounce it.
Mango Tego.
It's a mango IPA. 7% by alcohol by volume.
Gotta smell it.
Yeah, dude. You know, I'm not big on the fruity infused ones, but this one's pretty good. I'm not good on the wheat either, and this is brewed with wheat.
Okay.
Single hop, which is they only use one variety of hop to make the beer. It's the Simcoe variety. I love that one. It's conditioned atop copious amounts.
Copious
amounts.
Multiple.
Of fresh house processed mango puree.
You can smell it, man. I smelled it. It smelled like something from like Rita's the water ice and shit. You know what I mean?
Perfect fucking example right there. It's got notes of fresh cut hay.
Okay.
Overripe mangoes. Dank things. It says. So you know right there, I had to go for this one, man.
Dank, bro.
And tropical fruit juice.
It looks fruity. It smells fruity. What do you give it, man? Scale 1 to 12 ounces. Even that's a really big craft thing.
Yeah, I got a growler.
That's cool as shit, man.
I'm going to go back and just start refilling this thing.
Nice.
You know, support local shit.
You got to. What do you give it?
I give it an 11. Only because it's fruit infused.
So if it wasn't fruit infused, it would be a 12. How's it compared to last week with the 12? The best you ever had is like...
This is a nice change of pace, man. It's got some different flavoring going on.
Okay. Now, I see you have something else written down. Is that for later on in the episode, or do you want to get to that now?
We can get into that now, man. We sat down, me and the homie.
Who was that, by the way? I believe we featured him on the podcast.
It was Andrew.
The Unabomber.
Draco. Unabomber.
Unabomber. Shout out to you. You're coming to the show, so I got tickets.
So he bought me one of these, bro. So I've returned the favor and bought what stood out to me. It's called Actual Factual. 2.5 times IPA. 10% alcohol. Notes of papaya, overripe heirloom cantaloupe, citrusy grass, and pumpkin flesh.
Is that what all their stuff's like? Is it all like these fresh, like different
This is all
vegetables
brewed
and
in the back of the fucking place.
Really cool. That's really cool.
It's dope, dude. And
Where's
for the
it
actual
located at?
factual, man, all I could taste was cantaloupe.
You said it's in Ardmore. Where at in Ardmore? Just in case anybody local wants to go check them out.
It's right off of Route 30.
Okay. And how much would this cost, like this growler that you got?
This is $5 for the glass.
Okay.
And $15 to refill.
Very cool. Very cool, man.
And once you buy the glass once, it's just good. $15, dude. Come in and get any kind you want. Fill it
up. I think that brings us to this week's Prole of the Week.
Who we got, bro?
We got our motherfucking homie Jimmy Bones. Jimmy got soul. Jimmy was actually going to be on the podcast with us tonight, but there was some scheduling conflicts. We hope to get him on here soon. Issues. Get an interview with him. What can you tell me about Jimmy Bones? I remember we played with him a few times in Philly at Voltage Lounge.
Yeah, we met him at Voltage Lounge. Okay. I believe it was last December we met him.
He had the full band, right? We got some pictures with him.
We'll fucking throw up. No, I don't think so.
I thought the first time he did. The very first time.
Oh, yeah, the first time. Yeah, you're right. I forgot all about the first time.
Yeah,
holy shit. You can find this shit on DatPiff, man. Just type in Jimmy Bones, and it'll come right up. He sent me a mixtape that he just released. It's called WDWC 16, and it's presented by RDSE. I'm not sure what any of that is, but
he's a Philly.
Maybe I'll put it in the description down below.
North Philly, represent, putting it down.
This mixtape is it's a duo mixtape. It's Jimmy Bones and this guy Rob Stashes, I believe is how you pronounce it.
What I've heard between being live with him and what you showed me when we were trying to pick the track, like, it's fucking dope, man.
This dude's on the level, man.
He's woke. Like, straight up, Jimmy Bones, shout out. Like, we played with a bunch of different people at Voltage, but another level, man. Straight up. I hope you know that. Like,
he showed us respect from the jump, so we show respect back, man. That's how we do it around here, Revival Radio.
I remember one time at Voltage when they were having this big fight trying to get people out, and people thought I was a bouncer. They thought I worked there. They're like yelling at me, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to perform like you. And they're like, oh, I thought you were like in charge here. Fuck that shit.
Remember when we were the DJs at that place?
Yo, I wish we had a picture of that shit, man, because I remember killing it.
I didn't know a picture.
I didn't know who any of those dudes were except for Jimmy Bones that night, but you wouldn't know it. Because I went all out hyping up for the homies that night.
Dude, that was a good time, man.
That was a real good time. Hope to get to play there again soon.
Me too.
That's a fun venue. It's nice. It's small. It's right next to the factory. Like, good location, good parking. Shout out to you, Voltage Lounge. Hit up your boys.
Hit us up. But
so, what's the name of the track we're going to play for him, Brain
Cell? The track that we're about to get into right here is called Bang Bang off the mixtape that I just mentioned, featuring Rob Stashes, I believe is the pronunciation. And, yo, this shit is dope. What do you think about this?
I think I'll let the song speak for itself. We'll be right back talking about the Mandela Effect.
Revival Radio.
Gang, 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 gang. All my homies bang, 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 bang. You was never gang, 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 gang. All my homies bang, 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 bang. Yeah, yeah. You feel me? You was never gang, gang, gang. All my homies bang, bang, bang. We never hang around lames. Let them watch me do my thing. Let's go. My day one's gang, we A1 bang, bang. Yeah, that's right, you heard me. My day one's gang, we A1 bang, bang. Yeah, that's right, you heard me. I got the fever for the flavor, talking $1 million, $1 million trucks, bank deposit, and we riding pillin' dust. Farrakhan on a hotline, we the $1 million plus. Bunch of dealers in this game, they got to deal with us. I've been a hustler, moving by the protocol. Been alone on my own, yo, and not a soda call, not a boat or bar. Fresh out the gym with it. I put this on my bro, last name I been in. I ain't cuffing hoes neither, I'm off the market. Long range with this aim like I'm Tony Starkin. Catch a sucker home alone, that's Macaulay Culkin. White chalk 'em, click, click, lights off 'em. School kill river for these niggas, night wash 'em. Always this shit on my own, yeah, with no problem. Every day, wake up, I scheme for a Skoda lick. I'm the kid that's searching fresh up out the fucking orphanage. You ever gang. All my homies bang, bang, bang. We never hang around lames. Let them watch me do my thing. Let's go. My day one's gang, we A1 bang, bang.
Welcome back to Revival Radio, everybody. Rich Steve.
And the brain cell.
So we're going to talk about the Mandela Effect this week. The Mandela Effect is one that I personally have been really interested in for a while now. I first came across it on Facebook, I guess it was, either Facebook or Twitter, with the whole Bernstein Bears thing,
right.
which we'll get into in a little bit. But the whole idea behind it is that something that you remember and the way that you remember it and millions or thousands of other people remember it is not really the way that it is. You have this distinct memory of how it was, but when you look back at it now, all these years later, it's not right.
And thousands of other people have the same memory, too.
Exactly.
It's not just one person.
So, this was originally called false remembrance, was how it was originally termed. But in 2010, I got around March 2010, a woman by the name of Fiona Broom was the first one to really notice it.
She was a blogger, right?
She was a paranormal researcher and things of that nature. She noticed it in regards to Nelson Mandela. That's where it gets its name, the Mandela Effect.
Who is Nelson Mandela?
Nelson Mandela was a South African leader who was imprisoned for many, many years during apartheid. A lot of people thought that he died in the 1980s, but in reality, he died much, much later. So
officially on December 5th, 2013.
But
many people remember him dying in the 80s.
Exactly.
Like,
so when they heard that this guy had died, they were like, wait a minute, I thought that happened way before. And then the talk started picking up and they started noticing many, many other things. There's lots of different explanations for what it could be. The one that we're going to focus on right now is something that we brought up previously, which is CERN, which is the LHC, the collider.
Large Hadron Collider.
Brain Cell, why don't you break that down for them a little bit?
It's located in Geneva, on the French and Swiss borders.
Switzerland.
What does CERN stand for? Do you remember what it was in French?
I don't remember how to pronounce it.
In English, it's European Organization for Nuclear Research.
Right, I was just
and that's not the acronym that they use. CERN is from an older French thing, right?
Yes,
It's like a European Council for European Nuclear Research. So at CERN, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've been producing antimatter.
Okay.
And if you don't know what antimatter is...
I didn't.
Everything that there is has, it's like balance, dark and light.
Okay.
Everything has an equal fucking opposite.
Right.
So, with this antimatter that they're producing there, 1 gram of this stuff is equal to 4 Hiroshima nukes.
This is what they're producing in that collider.
CERN will allow us to produce antimatter by the pound, bro.
Holy shit.
How? By harvesting resources from parallel universes and dimensions.
And that's the crazy thing, too, is they just straight up say it like that. Like, they say, our theory, what we want to do is tap into other dimensions and other realms. They believe that it's possible. You know, there's the bubble theory, where there's all these different little universes and stuff that came out of the Big Bang. Then there's an overlap theory that makes it look like a book, where there's like our universe and another one on top of it, another one below it. And it's
all theories you can never possibly prove.
No, not at all.
So what about, that makes me think of ghosts, an interdimensional slip. Like people from other dimensions. Like that might be a good explanation for ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And paranormal activity.
Yeah.
So what they do with CERN, with the particle collider, is they collide 2 protons into each other, creating particles, when it explode, that only exist for mere fractions of time.
You see...
And this is going to what you were saying about the Big Bang.
Exactly.
And they're trying to, play God. They want to be able to control everything.
They want to be able to observe also an atom in its natural state. When you look at it through a microscope and things like that, it completely changes the way that it is just from the energy of you using a microscope. So their whole thing that they're trying to do as well is to catch in its fluid state an atom coming off of this. So then you can measure the gravity and see, hey, the atom before the crash weighed this. Afterwards, it was this, which means that it must have gone into another dimension.
But the scientific community also has a theory called Schrodinger's cat, I believe.
Okay, what's that?
Where, I believe you were just talking about this, where once you observe an experiment happening, it changes.
Right.
Or like, that's, before you observe it, they exist in both states.
Okay.
And this is kind of going along with the CERN and the antimatter shit. So let's get back to CERN here. Their logo is clearly 666, as you can see right here. CERN was formed on September 29th, 1954, 61 years ago, about to be 62 in a week or two now. It consists of 22 member states. I'll go through a list in a second. Israel is the only non-European country granted full membership. The 22 member states are all European entities, okay? Belgium, Denmark, France, Germany, Greece, Italy, Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, United Kingdom, Yugoslavia. Those were the founding countries. And the rest were added on later.
So right around the time that this was turned on is when people started noticing these Mandela effects for a real first time. And there was lots of coincidences, lots of linking up around that time. So basically what we're getting at here is that CERN is creating these black holes to tap into other universes, possibly opened up some kind of vortex, whatever, to allow these changes to occur. What we are seeing is actually things
They're opening the abyss. Pandora's box.
These are things from other universes, or the whole, like, the butterfly effect type thing.
And they don't even know what's going to happen when they do this. Remember, they didn't know if a black hole was going to happen. It was going to swallow up the entire solar system.
You know, it's having an effect on the environment already with the earthquakes and stuff like that out there. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
We still have a couple more minutes here, so let's just keep busting out a little bit more shit, man. They're ripping apart time and space, like we're just saying. They're ripping apart time and space, people. Do you even care? Obviously you don't, because no one even knows what CERN is. Unless they're in the scientific communities or read Popular Mechanics or something like I used to do.
Or listen to our podcast. Subscribe below.
Dropping knowledge over here, people. Subscribe. CERN's laboratory in 2013 had 2,513 staff members, hosted 12,313 fellows, associates, apprentices, visiting scientists and engineers, representing 608 universities and research facilities from around the world. And just to reiterate again, CERN's main function is to provide the particle accelerators and other infrastructure needed for high-energy physics research.
It's complicated stuff, man.
I just want to add real quick before we go into a break that a CERN employee by the name of Tim Berners-Lee,
English fellow,
invented the World Wide Web in 1989 and wrote the first web browser in 1990 while he was working at fucking CERN. It's pretty crazy, because that's pretty much like a whole new universe in itself, the web, man.
You're seeing how powerful and widespread CERN is, what they're doing. So is it that implausible to think that maybe during these experiments that something might have gone wrong? That maybe they opened something up?
Anything's possible, man. I don't know what to believe.
I want to get into a couple examples on the other side, and we'll be right back.
Ignore your brain, 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 cause that's where the problem starts. Ignore your brain, and just listen to your heart. You see, we are not the same, miles apart between yours and my game. I came, I saw, I conquered. What doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. I ain't tryna wait another second longer. It's just XP that gets me farther. See, I'm calmer, I'll never sweat. You gotta go to war in order to be a vet. Check, gotta have the heart, gotta have the soul. You gotta be a leader if you ever gonna grow. I've been through it, but I bounce back. Fleetwood Mac, Crystal Visions is the soundtrack. You gotta go your own way, choose your own path. Chase your dreams, or one day you'll wish you had. Yo, man, I'm just speaking the truth. Therein lies the difference between me and you. Out with the old, in with the new. Don't be so scared to face the proof. Said out with the old, in with the new. Don't be so scared of change, do you? Ignore your brain, ignore your brain, 'cause that's where the problem starts. Ignore your brain, ignore your brain, and just listen to your heart. You see, we are not the same. Miles apart between yours and my game.
Oh, shit.
That's some fire, brain cell.
You know who made that beat right there?
I don't know.
Nobi from Inf Gang. Gmo Ski. Fucking. Yeah, dude, that was called Listen to Your Heart off my upcoming solo album. I have a working title for it, but
What's the working title?
Raising Lazarus. But I think I might have to change that and save that for later. But I just felt like that was a fitting track for our podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, how what is that about, like, exactly? Just ignore your...
I mean, I guess I was a little bit brainwashed by new age fucking shit that I was into when I wrote that, but...
Interesting.
I mean, it's about following your intuition.
Sure.
Don't overthink things. Use your brain to analyze shit, but don't overthink shit.
It's a problem.
Go with your gut.
So
CERN.
CERN.
We were talking about CERN.
CERN.
You want to hear some achievements? Scientific achievements at CERN?
Are they actually achievements? Let's see.
You'll be the
judge of that.
Be the judge of that.
What we got?
1973.
Okay.
The discovery of neutral currents in the Gargamel bubble chamber. Is that what you were talking about earlier with the bubble?
I think so. No. That's a theory about our universe.
Yeah, because like I don't know what half the shit even means, bro. No one else probably does either. But go look it up. I will after this. 1983, the discovery of W and Z bosons.
It's got 10 years.
10-year interval.
Next.
Right there. Bosons, remember that. 1989.
Okay, 6 years.
The determination of the number of light neutrino families. 1995.
Another 6 years.
The first creation of anti-hydrogen atoms, i.e. antimatter. Anti-hydrogen atoms are the counterpart in like the dark energy spectrum of hydrogen. Next, we have 1999.
4 years. We're getting shorter.
Speeding up here, man. The discovery of direct CP violation. This has to do with antimatter and the creation of the universe as well. 2010.
Whoa.
Little jump there.
Little jump.
The isolation of 38 atoms of anti-hydrogen. Antimatter again.
2010. So when Mandela Effect starts
yeah. And then this is speeding up here. Next one's 2011.
1 year.
Maintaining anti-hydrogen for over 15 minutes. More antimatter. 2012.
1 year.
Boson found that is consistent with the long sought after Higgs boson particle, which I believe they call the God particle.
Right.
So right there you have it, man.
So it's just speeding up, man.
They probably found more shit too, but this study was done. My information's a little old, maybe.
Do you know it actually was shut down a little bit earlier this year because a weasel bit through one of the power cords?
A weasel.
The weasel biting through the Hadron Collider. See what I did there?
Yeah, dude.
So what else you got, man? Tell me a little bit more about this.
I want to tell you a little bit about supercomputers here, because this is what they're using.
Okay.
D-Wave Systems, Inc. is a quantum computing company based in Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada.
Represent.
D-Wave is the first company in the world to sell quantum computers at the commercial level.
Okay.
On May 11th, 2011, the D-Wave 1 was available.
Commercially.
Which is even...
Commercially, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is even... Every year they come out with one even fucking more powerful.
Okay.
Since then, two more, even more powerful ones have come out. The D-Wave 2 and the D-Wave 2 Plus or some shit. The chips in these things are fabricated by the NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratories Micro Devices Division.
So
in
NASA...
Pasadena, California.
NASA is making these chips for these commercial computers? A government-funded organization.
You heard it right, man.
Doesn't make sense to me, man.
Also, these computers, they look like giant black monoliths. They're 10 to 12 feet. Where's my other information on that? I believe I lost. Oh, it's 10 by 12 foot giant black monoliths available for $10 to $15 million a piece at the commercial level. Who the fuck can afford that? One is located at the University of Southern California, and there's
Trojans!
This shit has to do with quantum mechanics.
This is shit I can't even begin to understand.
I don't think anyone really understands it except for a handful of fucking quack scientists.
You were saying, like, man, this is... They purposely make things really complicated. By design, man.
So quantum mechanics basically is a fundamental branch of physics concerned with processes involving atoms and protons.
Okay.
Just make it simple.
Which is what we were just talking about for the collider. That makes sense.
And it has to do with Schrödinger's cat and shit like that.
Right.
So, simulated reality.
I've heard about the simulation theory. I didn't go deep into it yet, though.
Maybe we'll have to save that for another episode. And what about time travel? Because when you start opening the abyss, man, like they're doing at CERN... This is where these things are possible at.
So,
traveling interdimensionally and
now
stealing resources from other dimensions.
Take this and link it with what I was saying with the butterfly effect type stuff, the grandfather effect. If this is a time traveler, let's say a time traveler got through somehow, and they make one little change, it affects the course of everything. We're not saying that it's going to mean that fucking dinosaurs are walking the earth and Hitler lived or whatever, but it could be something as simple as a quote in a movie being different.
You know, that's what makes me think like they're just doing it as a joke. They're just coming back to make minute little changes just as a joke to laugh at us and shit. Like,
because it fucks with you, man. Like, we're gonna go through these lists on the other side, like you were saying, but it fucks with you when you see a new one having that Mandela effect. There was 2 that I just found today in my research that I had never heard, that I was like, whoa.
There's new ones every day, man.
It's insane.
To go to, like, how it's funny as shit, like, how they're playing a joke on us.
Mm-hmm.
There's a picture I saw of a guy at CERN, wearing 2 signs around his neck.
Right.
What does the one sign say?
The one says Bond number 1, right?
Right.
And the other one says Mandela.
So, what? Well, it turns out that the last name of the actor to play James Bond, the first one to play James Bond,
Bond 1.
His name is Barry Nelson.
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson and Mandela.
These
people are sick, man.
Just a little context real quick. That video, they were doing a parody of the Happy music video by Pharrell. And so he had this sign that said, "We at CERN are happy," and he had that.
And what year was this?
I think it was 2010 or something.
2010
like
or
maybe it was
14.
later than that. 14, I think it was.
Something like that.
2014. Yeah, that's when it was. That's when it was.
So
either way, that could be them just fucking with you because they know that people were talking about it and people are getting up in arms. I don't know. It's just weird that they would have a Bond number 1.
It reminds me of the VMAs happened a few weeks ago.
Correct.
And Key and Peele, you guys probably heard of these.
Yeah.
They're on Comedy Central.
I think they're funny.
They are not funny at all. These guys were like hosting the event, and it said their Twitter handles underneath.
Oh, yeah.
And the one guy's name is @LizardSheeple. Like, these people are sick, man. Like, they're just laughing at us.
Oh, man.
Poking little jabs at us, thinking, oh, these guys with their tinfoil hats. And
so we're going to come back, and like I promised, we're going to give you a list of some of these Mandela effects, see what ones we were affected by, and see if you at home can relate to any of these. We'll be right back.
What time is it, Rich Steve?
It's summertime, but with all the bullshit going on, I ain't even feeling it.
Man, we don't worry about that shit.
Word?
It's time to turn off the TV, fire up a joint, and vibe out.
Come over here and step inside. Pour a drink, it's hot, oh my. I'm positive this is the time they say the word and we all die. Morale is low, we're fat and dumb. Afghani dope to keep us numb. You work 3 jobs, no income, wondering what you become. You're not a slave, not theirs to own. No longer must you march alone. Don't need their banks, don't need their loans, don't need their cars, suburban homes. Don't need their tax, won't bow to Rome. Don't need their gods or golden thrones. It's the unknown where we reside. We just need you who's down to ride. I must admit I can't commit hip-hop misfit inner conflict, but I stay true. All I can do change your worldview. Step inside, it's up to you.
We don't worry about the outside, outside. We don't worry what they say, what they say. We don't worry about the outside, outside. We just go in our own way. I'm just rolling on like a stone. You can't see me cause I'm already gone. Can't nothing kill my vibe, I'm too high for 'em. I'm too high for 'em. I'm not a slave, try to take my mind, and I'ma ride on 'em. I ain't buying what you selling, nah, not today. The television lies, programs your brain between the false flags and shootings. To me it's just plain, I see with my eyes, don't need nobody to explain. I just wanna rock the mic every night and have fun. Spend all summer in the sun, the party's just begun. Never carrying a gun, but I always got a joint, man. Don't listen to the system, remember you always have a choice, man.
I must admit I can't commit hip-hop misfit inner conflict, but I stay true. All I can do change your worldview. Step inside, it's up to you.
We don't worry about the outside, outside. We don't worry what they say, what they say. We don't worry about the outside, outside. We just go in our own way. Some go left, left, the rest go right, right. As for me, man, I'm doing alright. I'm on my own path, you will never bar my way. Obstacles may come, that's when we audible the play.
I must admit I can't commit hip-hop misfit inner conflict, but I stay true. All I can do change your worldview. Step inside, it's up to you.
We don't worry about the outside, outside. We don't worry what they say, what they say. We don't worry about the outside, outside. We just go in our own way.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 11 Revival Radio. If you haven't clicked subscribe yet, what the fuck you waiting for, man? Get on that shit. Anyway, we were talking...
Learn you something.
We were talking about the Mandela Effect today. We were just talking about CERN a little bit. But now let's get into the real meat of the topic, which is giving some examples. Now that people know where it could have came from, what exactly it is, what are some examples of the Mandela Effect in action?
Well, we already mentioned the Bernstein Bears.
Right.
Let's break that down a little bit.
let me break that one down for you. So, the Bernstein Bears.
This is a big one.
This is the one, like I said, that got me. You look at the bear books. You all know it. You remember the TV show. You look at it, and it says Berenstain. Stain, which is the name of the authors. You know, it was a husband and wife team, the Bernsteins. I believe you said the same thing, and thousands of other people remember it as Bernstein or Bernstein. Now, for you, how do you remember it?
I remember Stein.
I remember,
not Stein pronounced, but the spelling, Steen.
I remember that too,
and there's pictures of these books that say Stein out there, and people try and say that it was a misprint.
Right.
I don't think I believe that.
The thing about that one is I was a really good reader from a very young age. Like, I started reading it like 2 or 3. And I remember having debates with my mom over if it was Steen or Stein. And like, I just don't feel like I would make that kind of an omission where it was a stain. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
That doesn't work for me. So there's one right there, Bernstein Bears. What's another one you got for us?
Let me see. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood theme song?
This was a good one.
This is a big one. So, how did the theme song go again? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. The neighborhood. If you go and look right now, pause this video, go type in YouTube Mr. Rogers theme song, and it will say this neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
Not the neighborhood.
That doesn't really make sense to me. Does that make sense to you?
No, it doesn't. Let's just go back and forth. I'll do one, then you do one. How about that?
All right, let me just break down a little. I got some information here
What?
before we get into more examples. Could this be caused by the alternate timelines merging with ours, like
Right.
we're saying in the parallel universes? But this phenomenon can be regarded as a glitch in the Matrix. Mm-hmm. That's how I first knew it as. Reminiscent of the scene where Neo, which we're going to put this clip at the end here, has an extreme case of deja vu. Right?
This is kind of reverse deja vu if you think about it.
Yeah. So he sees the same cat walk by and do the same thing within like 2 seconds. And that is a major, major one, dude. It walks by like a doorway twice. Mm-hmm. And as you'll see, if you keep watching, we're going to put that clip in here. But that being said, how many states are in the USA?
50.
Many people remember 51 or 52, man.
Yeah, I've heard that too. That one's...
An easy way to remember this is there's 50 stars on the flag.
Right.
But many people, including myself, get confused with the Puerto Rico and Hawaii. They were like,
Puerto Rico is a territory.
Yeah, but Hawaii was the 49th state added.
Right.
Do you know when that was?
Yeah, it was in like the 60s or
Really?
like the 50s or something.
I don't know why when I was a kid I thought like that happened. When I was a kid.
No, those were the last two states added were Hawaii and Alaska.
So Puerto Rico's a territory.
Right. So
Okay.
that's that. So let's just go back and forth. You do one and I'll do one. You
All
wanna
right,
do
go
that?
ahead, man.
So next one I got is Curious George. Now, the question, Curious George, the man with the yellow hat, does Curious George, the way you remember it, have a tail or not have a tail?
I don't remember either way, but I don't see why they would make a monkey with no tail. Monkeys have tails.
See, that's the way I remember it was without a tail, which is the way that it is. But then you look at like Halloween costumes that are made.
They have tails.
They have tails.
What the fuck?
You know, and you have to understand too, just because you don't remember it one way, doesn't mean that there aren't thousands of other people that are having a completely different timeline experience than you are.
For example, the Tank Man at Tiananmen Square. Many people remember him being crushed by the tank, but that just didn't happen.
That's what I remembered too. I don't
remember him getting crushed, so
See,
that's a perfect example right there.
That's one during just my research. I was like, wait a minute, what? That didn't happen that way. That's the way I always remembered it.
Could these be merely false memories, man? Like,
if it's so
think
many
about
people,
witnesses
though.
at a crime scene.
Okay.
It's common to say like 12 people witnessed a crime.
Right.
You're gonna get 12 different reports of what actually happened, but it's gonna be like the same thing, but maybe like one guy will say he had a yellow shirt, and another guy will say a blue shirt.
Right.
But I feel like that's a pretty good example of that.
Yeah. Another one that I have is Henry VIII. There's the portrait of him that I always thought existed. You know, you hear eating Henry VIII style with the big ass chicken leg or the turkey leg that he's ripping apart. You know, like never happened. There's no Tudor era painting of Henry VIII ripping into a chicken leg like that. Never happened.
What about Chick-fil-A? Is there a K in the fast food restaurant Chick-fil-A?
I don't even know. Is there?
According to now on Google and Wikipedia and everything, there's no K. I kind of remember a K in there.
I don't remember one way or another, to be honest.
Okay.
How about Jif peanut butter? Is it Jif or Jiffy? What do
This
you
is
remember?
one that I think it's always been Jif to me.
See, to me, I thought it was Jiffy.
That's because there's a peanut butter called Skippy, and
Right.
I think it's easy for your mind to just get that confused.
Yeah, I mean, Mom
know what I'm
said
saying?
choose Jif. Well, that's another one that relates kind of to the same thing, because I remember the theme song for that is Chuck E. Cheese. I always thought it was just called Chuck E. Cheese, but it's actually called Chuck E. Cheese's.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that, too. I remembered.
I didn't know that the apostrophe S was in there. I thought that was later on added.
This reminds me of a quote in the novel 1984 by George Orwell that goes like something like that. I'm just paraphrasing here. He who controls the past controls the future. He who controls the present controls the past. And that goes along with, you always hear us talking about, like, the winners always write the history books.
Right.
So I just want to put that out there real quick.
Another one, Mother Teresa just recently became a saint, like a week or two ago, something like that. I could have swore that happened back when I was in high school, man. Like,
sounds about right to me, too.
It just doesn't seem like that was right around that time, that it was just a couple weeks ago. Right, that one's fucking crazy.
How about mirror on the wall
from
who's
Snow
the
White,
fairest of them all?
Right.
If you go back and watch, you might even have the VHS tape.
Yeah.
Pop that bitch in and see what it says, and it's gonna say magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of the... Like, how can people get this shit wrong?
I don't know. I even remember that from, like, the previews where it would be, like, for a new Disney movie, it would have that in there. Where it would be like, mirror, mirror on the wall, Snow White.
I heard someone try and explain it away, saying, like, that in the books it says mirror, mirror.
I saw that
something,
too. I saw that too.
I don't know if there's much truth to that.
No.
No one reads books, man.
No, not at all. So, we'll be right back. We got a couple really big ones when we get back. We'll talk to you in a minute.
Now you're feeling a bit like Alice. Tumbling down the rabbit hole?
You could say that.
I can see it in your eyes. You have the look of a man who accepts what he sees because he is expecting to wake up. Ironically, this is not far from the truth. Do you believe in fate, Neo?
No,
Why not?
because I don't like the idea that I'm not in control of my life.
I know exactly what you mean. Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 11, Rich D, Brain Cell. So, I believe they just saw a couple clips from movies, a couple examples of the Mandela Effect.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put in the Men in Black, or not Men in, the fucking Matrix clip.
Right. Okay.
If I can find it.
Okay, so let's get into one of the big ones, and that would be Forrest Gump. The line when he's sitting on the bench with the woman and he says, Mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Life was like a box of chocolates.
See, I remember it the other way. I remember life is like a box of chocolates.
That's the way I remember it too.
And if you go on Google and search all these memes and shit, that's what the quote said. Life is like a box. You can find a couple that say was, but for the majority, it's is.
I can see.
How can that many people get it wrong?
Like I said to you before the episode, I can see where if he's talking in the past tense, you know, my mother used to say that life was like a box of chocolates.
That's not what he says. He says, my mama always says.
I know, I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
you
like...
confused me real quick.
Do you think Forrest Gump would talk like that? Come on, my mother always said. Come on. Anyway.
Well,
so
I don't know,
one.
man. He talks pretty fucked up, so I wouldn't put it past him.
There's one right there. Next
Old
one.
Forrest.
Next one is 2 from Star Wars, which is one of my favorite
I thought it was
movies.
my turn to do one.
Yeah.
What the fuck you doing?
I'm waiting for you.
I was going to do the Looney Tunes one,
Okay.
but I guess we can do the Star Wars one.
Yeah, let's do Star Wars one.
All right.
Ones.
What's the most famous line from Star Wars? Luke, I am your father. It's even referenced in other movies like fucking Austin Powers.
So this one is one that I personally didn't feel an effect from because I always thought that it was no, I am your father.
How could you think that when everyone fucking says, Luke, I am your father?
Because I watched the movie a million fucking times.
So did I, but I don't know, man.
Different parallel, man. Different timelines.
Yeah, I guess you're from that, and I'm from the old world, man.
So the other one from Star Wars is C-3PO.
Right.
And how do you remember C-3PO looking? Is he all gold?
That's how I remember him.
That's the way I remember him, too.
But actually...
Silver leg. He has a silver leg.
He has a silver leg.
You look all the way back to even the toys that they released in the 70s. He had a silver leg. That's one that fucking blew my mind.
All
now
right,
do
so
the Looney Tunes.
we're getting a little ahead of myself here.
Okay.
I need to catch up on my notes here. So, Looney Tunes. How do you spell tunes in Looney Tunes?
The way I remember my timeline is Tunes.
Right.
Right.
But me, I'm from the other realm of people who thought it was Toons because cartoons, I guess that's how my mind fucked it all up because cartoons is spelled with Toons.
Yeah.
So I thought Looney Tunes, it's a cartoon. I don't know, man. It's not a song. Why are they calling it Tune?
I don't know, because that was the question I always asked myself. I was like, what's the tunes? What are they? Sex and the City. Do you remember Sex and the City or Sex in the City?
Many people remember Sex in the City.
Sex and the City, but I mean, not saying I watch it or anything.
You damn, don't lie, Steve. We all know you watch that shit religiously. Another one that I had was Johnny Quest from back in the day when we were kids, man.
This one you just told me during the break. I didn't even know it.
Johnny Quest. How was Johnny spelled?
Joh, right?
Yeah, with two N's?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, but they're saying that it's fucking Jonny. That just doesn't even look right. I don't know of anyone who spells their name like that.
I know two people, only two, that spell it Jon. But even...
Yeah, but it's never Johnny.
No, it's
like
never
that.
Johnny like that. Like, that's a weird one. This is one for me. Hitler. His eye color. I was always taught and always thought that he had brown hair and dark eyes.
Same here.
Motherfucker had blue eyes.
Blue eyes.
Because I was like, wow, what a hypocrite. He hated the Jews. He wanted an Aryan race, but the motherfucker had brown hair and brown eyes.
Let me just say this. This just crossed my mind about this one.
What?
Particularly. How do we know what color his eyes were? Like, they could just Photoshop very easily blue eyes on some brown eyes. So
that's true.
We weren't there. We didn't know him personally.
I don't know. What else you got?
I got... what about Febreze? You ever use Febreze to freshen up around the house?
Yeah.
Man? How do you spell that?
F-A-B.
No.
How's it spell?
It's either Febreze or what I remember it as F-E-Breeze.
Okay.
B-R-E-E-Z-E.
It's not that either.
And you remember an A in there.
Yeah, I do remember an A in there.
There's a whole triangle of shit going on right here.
I don't even know.
I'll put some pictures up of all this shit that we're naming out.
Yeah, Billy Graham. I totally remember this old-ass motherfucker dying in, like, 2009.
Who's Billy Graham?
Billy Graham is, like, a southern preacher, very big in the hands of the right wing.
Look at this motherfucker.
97 years old, still alive today. I could have swore, and so did thousands of others, that he died back in, like, 2009.
That motherfucker's a vampire or something.
Clearly. What else you got? Field of Dreams. Do that
Field of
one.
Dreams, that's a major one.
Yeah, that's a big
movie
one.
feature or starring Kevin Costner.
Okay.
What do you remember from that movie? Big quotable fucking meme galore.
If you build it, they will come.
But I remember it being, if you build it, he will come.
Huh.
So that's another example.
That's another
right
one where
there.
we don't know, and it is he will come. It is
got
he
more
will come.
over there, man?
I do. We only have a couple minutes left though, so why don't we get to the map stuff real quick?
Okay. Maps are changing as well. It's not only text and visual movies and shit.
Right.
Many people remember a large landmass the size of New Zealand off the west coast of Australia.
I remember that.
But nobody can remember the actual name of this landmass. 1990s movie Dazed and Confused.
Classic.
A globe in the classroom, as you can see here, clearly depicts a large landmass west of Australia, which, interestingly enough, man, the coordinates of this landmass are basically the same exact coordinates for the missing Malaysian flight MH370.
Which is basically famous now for being just stretches of ocean.
Another one, Sandy Island, is an island that people remember going to on, like, vacations and cruises and shit.
Right.
But according to officials, it's non-existent. If you go on Google right now, you're not going to find no Sandy Island.
How about the location of Japan? A lot of people are saying that it's starting to move closer to China than it used to be. And another one with North Korea, that there's the border to Russia. A lot of people don't remember it ever being connected to Russia in any way.
Really? That's fucking interesting.
That's another one I just found today.
If the world's really being edited, who's doing the editing? Is a question I would like to pose to our viewers.
I would like to know that as well. You know, we're running out of time here. Just another thing I would like you guys to look up, just give you the name, is the man from Taured. Taured. Long story short, this man arrived in Japan, had a passport from another country called Taured. Doesn't exist. Put him up in a hotel for the night. The next morning they came to get him. He was gone. His passport that they kept at the airport, it was gone. So that's it for this week. We're going to take a break next week so we can get ready for this ICP show. We'll see you when we get back. Hit us up for tickets.
The show.
Much love, motherfuckers.
Abandoned one, need to band together and stand as one. They will never make us lag, they will never drag us down, they will never take us back, we're gonna stand our ground. No abandoned ones, need to band together and stand as one. We're gonna push the limit until we span the sun, becoming more than just a man, I won't be ran by none. I stand with the outcasts, I stand with the freaks, rebels, artists, geeks. Stand with the working man as well as those on the street. And I stand with the stoners out there lighting up the leaf. We all fighting the same threat for the same thing. Just wanna be free and happy, stop the wasting. See, we living on a planet without the T. Can't trust the mainstream and it's 2016. Need to come together like Aerosmith said. All for one for all until there's nothing left. Never rest, I gotta tell the truth, the whole truth, so help me God. No stones go unturned, you gotta earn your spot. No flip-flop, you're either with us or you're not. We don't crisscross, go back on your word and get dropped. Fuck the shit talk, everything that's false, don't get involved. I'm finna lift off, break through the dome and cut the walls for the lost. No abandoned ones, need to band together and stand as one. They will never make us lag, they will never drag us down, they will never take us back, we're gonna stand our ground. No abandoned won't bow. I will not submit to your systems of control. No, I won't bow. No, I won't bow. I have the right to exist outside this prison. Let me go. No, I won't bow. No, I won't bow. I will not submit to your systems of control. No, I won't bow. No, I won't bow. I have the right to exist outside this prison. Let me go. Go. No abandon one. Need to band together and stand as one. They will never make us lag. They will never drag us down. They will never take us back. We're gonna stand our ground. No abandon one.